Hey everyone! So it's a really sunny day today. It's not very warm, but it is very sunny. And I wanted to quickly talk to you guys a little bit about soil temperatures. When you're germinating seeds, your soil temperature is just as important as moisture and light. Light is not important. When you're germinating seeds, your soil temperature is just as important as your moisture. So here I'm in the greenhouse, and it is a lovely, I don't know if you guys can see that, 80 degrees in here. And I think the outside temperature is probably about somewhere in the 30s. Somewhere in the 30s, and it's 80 degrees in here. So, with the double layer of protection that I have in the greenhouse, I am creating what's called a microclimate. And in here, it feels somewhere around, outside it's zone 5. But in here, it feels like it's probably about zone 7, maybe even 8 or 9, being 80 degrees. So, it's definitely a lot warmer under the double protection. But what I wanted to talk about was the soil temperature. Now, just because you have an 80 degree temperature doesn't mean that your soil is going to be 80 degrees. Usually in the springtime, when we get ready to germinate seeds or get ready to plant seeds, your soil temperature lags behind your air temperature, which makes it less favorable for germination. So if you've ever wondered, well, you know, it's already 50 degrees outside, why isn't my seed germinating? Some seed needs like 70, 80 degrees to germinate. It doesn't need them temperatures to grow, but it does need that temperature to germinate. So you have to be mindful of the temperature that it takes to germinate those seeds, okay? Just because they're cool weather crops doesn't mean that they don't need heat to germinate. So I'm going to give you guys a list in the description of cold weather crops and the temperature that it takes. I should just say the temperature range that it takes to germinate those seeds, okay? So maybe a soil thermometer would be good. You can use that for compost. You can use that for testing your soil temperature. I think they're like $10 at the hardware store that I shop at. A lot of you say you don't have a Menards, but I go to Menards a lot, and I've seen that they do have some soil temperature probes, and you can also use that in a compost pile as well. So I do plan on getting one of those this year, very soon. That way you can test your soil and see not only the pH and the moisture levels, but also what temperature is your soil. You know, that's going to mean, that's going to make a big difference in whether your seeds are going to germinate or not. So that's usually why we germinate seeds indoors and on a heat mat, because seeds need warmth to germinate. They don't need light per se, but seeds need a lot of warmth to germinate. And then also, I also wanted to touch on a subject about seed stratification. What seed stratification is, it's when you have to have a cold period for those seeds to germinate. So those seeds have to be cold for a minimum period of time, and then they can be brought to germination. For instance, lavender. A lot of people say they don't have good luck growing lavender from seed. Well, that's because lavender has to be stratified. You have to give lavender seed a cold period, I don't know, about 4 to 6 weeks maybe, before that seed will germinate. A lot of perennial flowers like echinacea, strawberries are perennials. They have to have a stratification period if you're growing them from seed. There's a list, and I will include a link in the description, and you can look at that list and see if some of those seeds that you're planning on planting this year are on that list. Now, a good way to do that without any thought is winter sowing. If you've never thought about winter sowing, or if you never heard of winter sowing, I just want to briefly talk about what it is. You get some jugs, clear jugs, okay, because you have to be able to have light enter. You have to be able to have light. And what you do is you cut those jugs, not all the way in half, but leave them kind of hinged. Fill them with potting soil, and make sure that there's nutrients in there, because these seeds will be in this jug for a while. So what you want to do is fill that jug with your soil, put your seed in there, duct tape your jug, and then put it outside and just leave it all winter until the spring. And when those seeds are ready to germinate, they will germinate, and they will have had their cold period, and you will have had nothing to do but put them out in a jug. I'll give you guys some examples of that and show you some demonstrations of that, because I am going to be doing that with some of the perennial seeds that I plan on growing this year. I am introducing a lot of flowers to my garden this year, and I want to make sure that I have the best germination success rate. So just a few things for you guys to think about as beginning gardeners, and then so that you don't feel defeated. You're wondering, why didn't my seeds germinate? Why didn't they grow? You know, it says on the package that, you know, it had to be X amount of degrees. Yeah, but sometimes they don't tell you that you have to stratify the seed. And then, for instance, celery. Celery is one of the very few seeds that needs light to germinate. Most seed does not need light, only heat. But celery needs light to germinate. So you have to make sure that you know, do your research on the things that you're trying to grow and how to have the best success rate with those seed if you're growing from seed. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys, and sorry about all the videos. I have been uploading videos, but for some reason they have been coming out public and not giving me a chance to title them or put a description or schedule them or anything, and it didn't used to go like that. So I don't know what happened, I don't know what changed, but every time I upload a video now, it's just boom, it's just public, and I'm like, wait, I wasn't trying to post that one yet. So I've had a lot of videos coming out lately, and they have been coming out without my consenting to them come out yet. But I think I might have fixed the problem, so I will hopefully be on track now and better prepared to post videos. But thank you for everyone who was watching those videos. They were just coming out one after the other. Anyway, I am going to let this greenhouse vent a little bit because it is very warm in here, and I will catch you guys on the next one, and I'll have a lot more information for you. Seed starting. Yes, seed starting. All right, guys. Till next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Bye, guys.